dicey there in that first quarter. You were kicking like millionaires, 7. You got better after that. You happy with the last 3 quarters?
Yeah. Last quarter, a little bit of a shootout, but we're really pleased with our first 3 quarters, and just our contest was so much stronger. GWS were much superior to us in that space last week, and we challenged our boys throughout the course of the week to be better in that space, and apart from the last quarter when Richmond won clearances 14-10 or something, so it wasn't that they got significantly on top in that space, but the first 3 quarters were just terrific, sharing the ruck and Wardlaw and LDU, Sheezel, Parker, and we rate the Richmond midfield pretty highly. A lot of guys have played a lot of experience in their midfield. Nankervis has been a terrific ruckman for them, and Dion Prestia and Taranto Hopper. So for our guys to be so strong in that space this week and respond to a disappointing performance last week was really pleasing for us.
Okay, you had one bloke that stood out amongst everybody else. He's equalled the AFL record for possessions. How do you rate him? Is he heading into career best form, or can he give more?
He had a stellar day today, but as I said, he's one of 5 or 6 through that middle of the ground. Wardlaw was really strong for us, particularly the first half. David Juniacki for the whole game he was terrific as well, and did a lot of bullocking work. She's got a little bit more of his ball on the outside than what LDU did, but both of them were really instrumental, and we managed to win the contest both inside and outside today, which isn't easy to do, but it was a credit to a whole heap of players through there. But she's had a pretty strong day today.
Were you frustrated or annoyed that Richmond's come back and kicked, I think it was 4 in a row in junk time?
Yeah, well, it's just so hard to keep an opposition down for a long period of time. Though we had a really strong patch there through the third quarter ourselves, which I think we kicked 7 out of 8 goals or something in that patch of the game. So we ended up winning the last quarter, but as I said, it was a little bit of a shootout. Probably the games tend to go that way when perhaps the result looked like it was beyond Richmond at 3/4 time. But as you know, with the Melbourne St Kilda game from 3-4 weeks ago, anything can happen nowadays in the game. So, but we were able to apply some scoreboard pressure in the early part of the last quarter. I think we kicked 3 early goals in the last quarter, and then they got on a run and kicked 5 on the bounce, I think. So, bit of that just happens in games of footy, but we're more concerned with the first 3 quarters, to be fair, and putting ourselves in a position to win that game of footy by just playing tougher and harder footy than we played against GWS last week.
What's the situation with Zurhaar's ankle?
We'll get that scanned. Not sure the severity of it. It was obviously bad enough that he wasn't able to return to play, and when he can't put too much weight on it, I'd suggest that there's something there that will have him miss next week. But hopefully it's not too severe. We've only got 1 game to go, so highly unlikely for next week. But hopefully it's not too serious, and he can rest up and get himself right for a pre-season.
So when one door closes, another one opens, and Curtis opened his door, 5 goals.
Yeah, he's been a really valuable player for us. Really emerged as an important part of our front end, and he's just such a difficult matchup because he's strong overhead. He's ferocious tackler. Can bit of X factor with the way that he goes about his footy. So we've been really pleased with his emergence over the last 2 or 3 years, but particularly he's stepped up a bit more this year, a bit more responsibility, a bit more belief in himself, and I think he's going to be a real good player for us for a long period of time.
Just on Sheezel again, what made him so good today in terms of getting to the ball that many times and putting himself in those sort of positions?
Well, I think it was the overall midfield itself. When so many of our players are doing well in the middle of the ground, then they can share the ball around a little bit. I think we had more handballs and kicks today, so That's not always a great sign, but it did demonstrate that we're prepared to win the ball on the inside and then feed it to the outside. And some of the pressure that Richmond was able to apply early caused us to make some errors in that space, but just the fact that we were able to win the ball regularly meant that ended up overwhelming the Richmond side. So that was really pleasing, and pleasing that we were able to put on a good show. This is our last official game as a home side down here at Hobart. The Spirit of Tas has been a great sponsor of ours for a long period of time, and we've really enjoyed the support that we've received from the Tassie people down here. So the South has tended to support the blue and white, and the North probably support the brown and gold a little bit, and then in a couple of years' time they'll be supporting the green jumper. So, which is exciting for this state, but our footy club has really enjoyed the opportunity to come down here and play, and hopefully we've been able to provide some content for the state of Tassie in terms of AFL footy, and we all move in different directions over the next couple of years.
Does it mean a bit to finish on a win?
Yeah, it's a good win too. To kick 20 goals down here. Terrific day. Sun was shining. Got a bit cold in the shade on the bench, but it was a good game of footy. Particularly early, it was close and a tight tussle, and then we were able to break the game open in the third quarter with some really good footy and got some momentum going. So we're hopeful that we can replicate that type of style of play when we play Adelaide next week at Marvel.
And sorry, just on Sheezel again, was there any talk at the end, that he could be breaking that record, or?
No, they just
really
just play the game. Might be a bit different if they're if it's guys trying to get to his 100th goal, but possessions, no, not so much.
Just one last one from me. So this will be the Devils' home ground for the first couple of years until the stadium probably comes on board. Do you think it cuts the mustard as an interim home ground for the Devils in the meantime?
Yeah, well, listen, this ground and the ground up at Launceston have been terrific for AFL footy. But what presents for Tassie is just an enormous opportunity, like right around the world. But if you want to just look around Australia, what they've done at Adelaide Oval and what they've done over at Optus, they've built an economy around those two stadiums, and that's what Tassie could do here too. So Bellerive is a terrific stadium and will continue to house AFL footy in the meantime, but. This state should get a stadium and make it something really special. And it's not a footy decision. This is an economical decision for the state. You look what it's done to South Australia. Look what it's done to Western Australia, and you go right around the world. Green Bay Packers, what they've done at New England Patriots, San Francisco, LA, Tottenham Hotspur. It's right around the world. These special stadiums that have an opportunity to generate money far beyond just playing games of footy, and it could be really special down here. And hopefully they can work it out and build something that's a real credit to the Tasmanian people.